Stop recording. Speech off.
The voice that you just heard when it started recording was one of the voices on an iPhone 3GS. And you heard that right. I can tell you some things about the iPhone 3GS that I've learned from a video that I watched. One, the last update of that phone was iOS 6.1.6, and VoiceOver didn't have that much functionality as it did as it does now. Excuse me. Jeez. Even the voice sounded different. So.
Speech on. Speech off.
With the YouTube app on an iPhone 3GS, which I'm pretty sure it came pre-installed, or you can get it from the App Store, I don't know what. But from what I heard about that, is that I don't think it had the video functionality like the YouTube app does now. Or like I said, it wasn't that advanced, from what I could tell. But, you know, I plan to do a 1-week challenge sometime. I don't know when. It probably won't be this year, or next year, or the year after. It will be sometime in the future, maybe. Yeah. Now, one thing I've heard about the iPhone 3GS is that the iPhone 3GS that I've heard in that video was a used iPhone 3GS. Used by someone's family member, I don't know. I know who it was, but I don't want to say it on here because I think I've said something about someone, but then I got corrected and then, well, I guess deleted that video. So I know now. But the speaker on that phone was scratched up. You know, scratchy, didn't sound good. Quality-wise, it didn't sound good. Okay, so let me say something. You may be wondering why I'm so fascinated with an old iPhone. Well, it's VoiceOver. You know, I'm fascinated with the way VoiceOver sounds and, well, you know, the sounds right now on
Speech on.
On the phone that I use.
Camera chooser. Stop recording. Button.
If I turn the speech off.
Speech off. Speech on. Speech off.
With the same sounds that VoiceOver back then used. Now that's not what I'm talking about. Back in the day when Siri did not exist, the iPhone had what was called voice control. And I don't even know if it has it now. I know the iPhone 4 had it, but nowadays the iPhones have Siri. And with the iPhone 10 not having a home button, that's not the phone that I have now, but with the iPhone 10 not having a home button, features now are like, hey Siri. Hey Siri is a functionality that you don't, Hey Siri is a function that you don't have to use a home button every time. If you really want to know about the iPhone 3GS, I'm not the person to go to. Because, sure, I was around when it came out. But the last update, if I can try to figure that out, was, I believe, back in 2012. Because in 2013, iOS 7 came out. In 2014, iOS 8 came out. In 2015, iOS 9 came out. And in 2016, iOS 10. In 2017, iOS 11. Last year in 2018, iOS 12. This year in 2019, it'll probably be iOS 13. Oh boy. Oh. The way things change nowadays. It used to be called iPhone OS before the iPad came along. I think I've used the first iPad, actually, but not for a long time. And I do remember that slide to unlock feature. I think it was on like an iPad or something. But, strange thing is, the first time I've ever used an iPhone was back in 2015 when I got my first. But, yeah. That's literally saying a lot, right? I just sometimes wish that I could use an old iPhone. Now, I can also, if I ever do a challenge like that, using iPhone 3GS for a week, I do realize that there's not going to be an Apple Watch app because that was released on the iPhone 6. iPhone 5 didn't have it, so why should older iPhones do it? I wonder when the iPhone 5 actually did come out. Was it like 2014 maybe? I gotta say that. Yeah, it's gotta be 2014. That the iPhone 5 came out in 2015 is when the iPhone 6 came out. 2016 is when the iPhone 7 came out. 2017 was it the iPhone 8 and iPhone 10. In 2018, the iPhone... Geez, I really gotta find out. I may be wrong. Maybe I should go back. 2013, iPhone 4. 2012, is it the iPhone 3 GS or whatever? Oh no, it can't be that. It could be a possibility that the iPhone 3GS could have, since probably the last update was in 2012, that the Bop It app was on the App Store, the then App Store. The App Store that was then used. Now that's what I'm saying. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the iPhone 3GS was released sometime in what, 2010? I mean, 2010, 2011? No, that's when the iPhone 4S got Siri, I guess. So, no. I must be missing something. Somebody correct me on the dates of when iPhones were released. Please tell me. Can somebody tell me when the iPhone 3GS was released so I can pretty much know? I mean, you know, maybe the iPhone, you know, there was someone that did a video. I don't know. It was... Cool Dude 503 TTS, or Cool Dude 503. He did a Microsoft Sam versus Microsoft Sam versus Mac Alex video. And that featured the iPhone 3G. So what I'm thinking, the iPhone 3GS probably would have came out about 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago. Because the iPhone, the original iPhone, the iPhone 2G or whatever, came out in 2007. Yikes. That was almost 12 years ago. Almost 12. Yeah. And I bet well, I don't know. Probably the Bop It app, the one that I've been thinking about and the one that I've been wanting, came out when iOS 5 or the early versions of iOS 6 came out. But I don't know, it's just my suggestion. I'm not saying I am going to do this challenge. I just wish I could. I just wish I could just find a random iPhone 3GS and then grab it and say, you know what, I'm going to do a challenge. But I do realize that the iPhone, let's see, what was the last iPhone to use a 30-pin port? It's got to have been the iPhone 4S. Because the iPhone 5 used the now modern lightning port connector. So it ought to have been the iPhone 4S. Probably back in like, what, 2013, 2012? Heck, I still even have I think I have an iPod that I don't think it ran off of any, no, it didn't run off of iOS. It was probably like 11 years old or 12. Probably like 2007 or 8. iPod. Because the first iPod came out in 2001. And I think it was big and bulky. Nowadays, iPods, they have speakers. Yeah, they do. Man, I can't believe that, you know, the Apple Watch came out in 2015. 2015, and that was almost 4 years ago. Now that the Apple Watch Series 4, and I think this year it's going to be the Series 5. Yeesh. Now Apple's releasing a new version of the Apple Watch every year. I'm glad I didn't get the Series 1. Kinda got it late, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, the iPhone 5 didn't even have it. And you know, the iPhone 5S, I believe, is still, if you don't believe me, it still is supported. I can't believe it. Still supported, I think. But now, going back to the iPhone 3GS topic, there were only 2 voices on it. There was either the compact voice or the the other voice, which is now called Samantha Enhanced, on later iPhone models. Not the 3GS though. I don't know what iPhone started out having more voices. Maybe it's the 5. Because I know the 6 had it. So maybe the 5, I don't know. I mean, the 5 has been supported through iOS 11. So, yeah, I think the 5. The 4S started having Siri in 2011, so no. Probably it was sometime in 2009 when the iPhone 3GS came out. And here's a known fact. The iPhone 2G had, before it was called Music, the app was called iPod. Now that's an interesting fact. But the iPhone 2G and later, the iPhone 3G and the iPhone 3 and the iPhone 2GS and the iPhone... Wait, was there a 2GS? Or was it just 2G? I don't know. Man, I wonder. So I guess before the iPhone 3G, before the iPhone... Yeah, I'm not talking, am I? Before the iPhone 3GS, there was no voiceover, I don't think. Because I think voiceover was introduced in 2009. So yeah, I think, the iPhone 3GS, if voiceover was probably introduced in 2009, then that's when the iPhone 3GS came out. So, I don't get it. The way I like to think of old iPhones is like a backup. If your phone is dead or doesn't work, then you'd need a backup. What better way than to grab an older phone, in which I do not have. Sometimes I wish I could do as an iPhone 5 with it in 2019, excuse me. Because we're in 2019. But the iPhone 5 is kind of still worth it, if you think about it. Because it kind of has modern apps, but they stopped in 2017 or 18. Yeah. They stopped in 2017 or 18. What I'm wondering is why the iPhone 3GS up until, I don't know, the iPhone 3GS up until, I don't know, the iPhone 5 had the slide to unlock feature. Or maybe even the iPhone 6, I don't know. No, the iPhone 6, I remember, had the unlock button. It was just an unlock button. It didn't say slide to unlock. But I didn't even know that with voiceover you can actually do that. You can just double tap and swipe up. That's one cool feature. But On the iPhone 6 and later, well, maybe even iPhone 5, I don't know. Maybe the iPhone 5 and later, you could just unlock it or use a passcode. And I think even on the older iPhones, you had to use a passcode if you wanted. I don't know. I didn't even know. Jeez. Like I said, I was only around the later iPhones, like iPhone 5, 6, 7. Hey, here's a joke. Why did the iPhone 6 why did the iPhone 6 run away from the iPhone 7? Because the iPhone 7 ate 9. The iPhone 7 ate 9. That's why there's no iPhone 9 that Apple created, because the iPhone 7 ate it. iPhone 7, 8, 9. You get my joke? But anyways, guys. It's just me wanting to look at old tech. You know, it may or may not happen. You know, it's just sometimes you think you might want something, or you think you might want to do something, and yet you can't, because it'll either be impossible or the only way you can get one is used. So, I would like to collect some old technology, like an old iPod. Well, I don't know. It would just be cool if I could try to get one. But like I said, I believe the iPhone 3GS had a YouTube app. It's just not it's not as advanced as it is now. So
Speech on. Stop recording. Button.
I'm going to stop recording and end this video.